The best thing about real estate is that they put insurance on you. He doesn't know what it is that you have to be street compliant. You have to have liability insurance on your car. Does everybody know what liability insurance is? I'm talking to my VIPs when I'm talking. Does everybody know what liability insurance is? Okay, cool. So liability insurance is required in every state. That is the amount of money that is willing to be paid out if you hit somebody else in an accident, right? So there is no deductible when it comes to liability. You do not have to pay any deductible. If I were to hit somebody's car right now, if I were to pull off my Rolls Royce and I would go hit somebody from an offender bender and I don't got no damage to my car, but I only damaged the other person's car, I have no deductible to pay. All I got to do is say, look, I just hit this car, talk to the insurance company. It's going to literally pay them out. That's liability insurance, right? Now, when it comes to a deductible, it's going to literally pay them out. That's liability insurance, right? Now, when it comes to a deductible, and is when I hit somebody and I damage my own car. So now when I got to fix my car, I have to pay a deductible. It can be $500. It can be $1,000 deductible. It can be a $2,000, $2,500 deductible. Now, me in particular, on my policies, I got Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, and Ferraris, things of that nature. I always got the highest deductible. I got a $2,500 deductible on all my cars because I'm willing to pay $2,500 in the rare instance that I get into an accident to get a full coverage claim handled. Because 9 times out of 10, every time an accident happens, I'm going to use the other person's insurance. So it really won't fall onto me unless worst case scenario, which is when it's going to be totaled. And if it is totaled, I'm going to be paid out more than the car is worth. And the $2,500 will come from the total payout, which means I'll literally end up paying nothing. So, I'm gonna break down comprehensive. And when you guys are using platforms like Toro, Hire Car, Get Around, Fetch Truck, you want to have a comprehensive policy. A comprehensive policy is simple, y'all. That's going to be rain damage, hail, fire, electrical, things like that. Those are going to be coming under comprehensive. If you use any of those platforms like Toro, Hire Count, Get Around, all of those different platforms, they do not cover you for comprehensive. So if a person were to rent your vehicle on Toro and they park underneath a tree and a tree falls on top of the car and crushes the car, you will not be covered by the Toro policy. That will have to fall under your personal policy, which is going to be a comprehensive one. And because y'all took this 5-day challenge, y'all going to have that policy on your car personally because y'all took my challenge. And then everybody else who didn't, they're not going to know that because a lot of people don't read the fine print. Everybody say read the fine print as my VIPs. On my VIPs, I got to make sure everybody locked in. Everybody say read the fine print. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. So like I was just saying, comprehensive is going to save your ass because if a deer hits your car, all of these different things like that, that's a collision. So it's something totally different. So if I hit a car, if I hit a pole, if somebody hits me, those are collision policies. Collision policy is going to cover you for that. And then everybody say uninsured motorists. Uninsured motorist policy. Uninsured motorists. And a lot of people are confused when they say, oh, I got full coverage. Some people have full coverage insurance and they don't have an uninsured motorist policy, don't have comprehensive. They just literally have collision and they think they have full coverage. That is not all of these things. Uninsured motorists is if you get in a hit and run. If you get hit and run, you're good. You don't have to worry about it that there was nobody else in the claim and they will not raise up your premium based off you getting into an accident with a hit and run. Also, another thing to keep in mind when it comes to insurance, let me tell you guys, they raise your premium up when you get into accidents. If you get multiple accidents in there, they're going to put what's called points on your insurance, which will make your insurance policy more expensive. So we want to avoid that at all costs. And then we're going to have what's called a commercial policy. A commercial policy is for business use. Commercial policy is for business use. Now, when you guys get a commercial policy, you guys are going to be in called the rental car industry. The rental car industry is high risk, right? Everybody say high risk. And because it's high risk, we have to treat it like when you get arrested. Y'all know when somebody arrests you, they say anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. It's the same thing when it comes to these insurance policies with high risk things. Same thing when it comes to getting underwriting banks to lend you things because you have a high risk business. So when you get a commercial policy, I'm going to tell you guys how to get a commercial policy in the rental car game. You have to get what's called an insurance broker. You cannot call Geico. You cannot call Progressive. You cannot call all of these different USAA. You cannot call State Farm and get a commercial policy for a rental car business. You cannot do that. You cannot get that. It's high risk. You have to get hire car insurance, which means that you are renting it out to somebody else. So you can Google an insurance broker and you can literally have them find you a perfect policy. So if you get an insurance broker, they will go ahead and call Progressive, Geico on your behalf and make a policy unique to what you are doing. So you're going to be renting it out and you want to get a policy, you get an insurance broker, right? So now that's one. Also, guys can use what's called, I want y'all to write this down and I'm going to have my assistant go ahead, Alton, and drop the link in here. Everybody can copy and paste this link. I'm going to give you guys what's called GMI insurance. GMI is called gmi-insurance.com. GMI insurance is going to be able to give you a policy where you can do peer-to-peer rentals, which is like Turo, hire car, get around. And also you can use it for commercial use. You want to make sure you have that type of policy when you are getting a bunch of vehicles. A lot of people are worried about, hey, Mitch, man, what happens when I get 10, 11 cars and I have my personal policy? Will they be worried about it? No, unless you got an excess amount like over 10, that's when you're going to start thinking about getting a commercial policy. But you can use GMI and also you can use State Farm. State Farm can actually do it. State Farm does peer-to-peer rental policies as well. State Farm actually does this. Geico doesn't do this. Allstate doesn't do this, but State Farm does do it. I got my assistant on here. Mike, I don't know if you can unmute Alton Guyton, or I think it's Vic Voss. He might have it under Vic Voss. I want him to tell them firsthand the type of policy that he has for his rental cars from State Farm. Mike, can you see him?
Yeah, I'm not seeing his name.
It might be, it's not, I don't think he got the Alton one. It might be under Vic Voss. Let me see. Comment on the chat real quick, Alton.
Is it automation?
Yeah, automation. That's him right there. That's him.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, talking about insurance, so for me specifically, I spoke to State Farm and kind of informed them that I was using the vehicles for business use. And what they did is to avoid me having to pay like extremely high insurance costs. They basically took my insurance policy, and it's a personal policy, but it's under my personal, and the cars are used for business use. So the cars that are strictly used for, going out and being driven for Uber and Lyft and different things of that nature. They're under my policy as business use vehicles. So that's one thing you can definitely communicate to State Farm, because when they gave me the quote for what it would cost to have an actual business policy, it was like $400 per car, which is like double what I usually have to pay. But when it comes to the cars being under my personal policy and leverage for business use, it's like $200. So way cheaper, way less expensive. I can still stay within good profit margins for having the cars out. But we have an understanding that, hey, I'm using these vehicles for business. State Farm understands, I understand. So if there's an issue, they know what's going on beforehand, and it's cost efficient.
Absolutely. So now, after we talk about insurance and having all of these policies and things of that nature in place, I wanted to make sure I set y'all up for 100% success when y'all start to rent these cars out privately, because you have to have a certain things in place. There's also, I want to make sure that y'all can understand how to get the claims paid out 100% of the time. So with that being said, I want you, Alton, while I got you on here, telling the scenario where you didn't get a claim paid out and why. And then I'm gonna give him the answer on how he could have avoided that. Let's go.
You there, bro?
Yep, yeah. I'm here. So I had to get unmuted again. Okay, so I theoretically had back-to-back accidents within like maybe a 2-week process. So my first claim was with my GLE, and I didn't properly understand how to communicate to the insurance companies. So when I communicated with them, I was very I was very upfront and forthcoming with information. And with that being said, they basically understood that the vehicle was being used for business purposes. And I basically had to take care of that claim out of pocket to get that car fixed, right? So cool, lesson learned. So for the second accident, what I did is I had the driver give me everything I had him give me all the information for the actual accident. I had his name, I had his ID. So, when we're doing private rentals, you make sure you get their IDs because you're definitely gonna need that. So I had his ID, I had his his address, I got his updated address, I had his date of birth. I called the insurance company on his behalf and communicated exactly what happened within the accident on his behalf, and then Geico covered the claim, and I should get the car back like in a day or two or something like that, right? But with that being said, to be more specific, like you have to get all their information and call on their behalf and communicate on their behalf, because the driver may not know what to say to the insurance company. So you got to do that for them.
Exactly. So keep it short and sweet. We are the ones who are in business, and we are the ones who have to understand. I said this at the beginning. We are an insurance business and we're in a rental car business. So you need to know exactly what to say to make sure at 100% of the time your claims get paid out. So every time, I'm going to say basically in layman's term what he just tried to say. If a person were to be driving one of my vehicles and he gets into an accident, and he's at fault. If he's at fault, and then I got to handle the claim, I'm not going to let him call and say what happened on the accident. I'm going to call and say what happened on the accident to make sure that they have the information necessary to cover the claim, nothing that's going to make it to where they don't want to cover the claim, to keep it simple and sweet. So instead of them calling, hey, yeah, I went there and I rented this car from so-and-so and did this, they're going to deny that claim. I'll just call them and say, hey, I was in an accident here on this day. I'm the person who was driving. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, what happened? I was driving this way. I hit this person here. Okay, thank you. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. All right, appreciate it. We're going to pay the claim out in the estimated 2 days. That's all that's going to happen. Short and sweet. So versus me letting them say volunteer and extra information, I'll go ahead and get the claim covered. And that's how you make sure in 100% if it's under your policy, if you're going to use your own policy. Now, before I go on to trackers, I want to let y'all know how to use the other person's insurance, which is what we do. When it comes to Lamborghini, when it comes to Rolls Royces, we don't ever rent out the cars unless that person has full coverage, transferable insurance, right? Full coverage, transferable insurance. So now, what does that look like? If Alton has a full coverage policy, all I'm going to do when he comes into Push Exotics Atlanta, he's going to say, hey, I want to rent a Lamborghini. I'm going to say, awesome. Send me your insurance policy number and your policy. Just send it to me. I'll take the policy. I'll call the phone number and I'll ask to say, hey, look, I got a person coming into my rental car agency. He's trying to rent a car. I want to make sure his policy will cover him in the event of an accident. They will say yes. I will say, is it fully transferable? They will say yes. I will say, how much are the policy limits? How much is the property damage coverage? They are going to tell me how much. If it is not the worst of my car, I will get them to raise it up to the price of a Rolls Royce. So the property damage coverage will be $300,000. And I will say, and they will say, hey, they're going to say it's going to be $15 extra a month for him to have that added. And then I'm going to ask Alton, hey, is that okay for them to increase that? Alton, you're going to say what?
Yes.
Okay, cool. He said yes. Boom. Now they're going to raise it up. He can be covered in the case of an accident. Now, in the event of an accident and we got a claim get handled, you're going to call and say, hey, you're going to call and use that policy number. You're not going to let that person do it either. You're still going to handle the claim, but you just know that they're going to be covered. And that's the only thing. You want to make sure you protect yourself at all times and be fully covered. That's how I can have $2,500 deductible on my policy. And Anime can have his low deductible. I don't care what his deductible is because he's going to be paying me out in the event that he has it. So it's going to be also paid out in a liability style. It's going to be liability and then property damage coverage. And that's going to be able to pay out my full price of my Rolls Royce. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you call every time before when it's coming. If it's a private rental, you want to call and make sure they have transferable insurance, or you want to have a commercial policy similar to Alton's that can be used for business use. Therefore, you have the name of the person who's going to be doing business in your car, who has your car driving at that time, so you will be covered. Mm-hmm. Point blank, period. Now that we understand what insurance looks like, we want to go straight into trackers. I want to make sure that y'all understand.
Whoa. Wait a second. You just gave out all of that, all those gems on just that little like time frame. Guys, listen, if you got value from that, let us know in the chat, whether you're in general admission, VIP, like if you can use that, say, I can use that. Cause that was like, I don't know about you guys, but that was like, for me, I'm just getting in myself. That's pretty lit. Thanks, man. You can go on. I just want to make sure that everybody else got that value.
I want to make sure too, man. Everybody picking up what we putting down? Okay, cool. All right, so bet. So look, also, we're going to talk about diminished value claims as well before I even go to trackers. My bad. So on a diminished value claim, the only time you're going to be able to do a diminished value claim is if the car is repairable. Everybody comment repairable. I want y'all to write this on y'all papers. Everybody who's taking notes, even if you're in a Facebook group, whatever, write down repairable and diminished value claim. Repairable. If it's not repairable, you cannot do a diminished value claim. If it's not repairable, you cannot do a diminished value claim. This is how the steps go to doing a diminished value claim in this order. Every state, this is not one size fits all. As I kind of talked about earlier before we got the VIPs asked this question, every state is not one size fits all. So you have to find out how it works in your state. So after that being said, this is the process of how it goes. So your car gets into an accident, and then somebody's insurance company, either your own or the other party, they take liability for the accident. This is the process of the order. So now they take liability and then they repair the car. After the car is completely repaired, repaired, you're going to want to go and do a diminished value report on it. There are companies that do diminished value reports, right? I use a company called RecCheck Atlanta, but they do diminished value reports outside of Atlanta as well. So you want to go ahead and get you a diminished value report done on the car after it's repaired. And then after you get the diminished value report, then you are going to submit this report to the insurance company that assumed liability. Now, this can be your own insurance or it can be the other party's insurance. Either way, they are going to be liable to pay you how much the car is now worth less because it's been an accident. When a car gets into an accident, it goes onto the Carfax, it goes onto the Experian auto vehicle report, and now the car is now worth less when you go try to sell it. If I go try to sell my Lambo that's been in an accident, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'll buy it, but it's been an accident, so I got to give you $60,000 less than what I would give to this person who has the same Lambo and the same mileage, but no accident. So now, because it's now worth less, the insurance company owes you a check for that amount. So the process goes exactly like that. You get the car repaired, you do a diminished value report, you submit the claim into the insurance company. Now, they will negotiate with you. They will negotiate with you. It will not be paid out sometimes exactly the amount that the report says. Sometimes they will counter it with $10,000 less, $5,000 less, $1,000 less, or it may be $20,000 less. But you can take it to court if you want to fight it, because 9 times out of 10, the diminished value report is 100% accurate, or you can accept what they give you, or you can arbitrate with them and go back and forth. I always recommend when you guys are going and doing the diminished value reports that you let them know that you want to communicate using only email, never on the phone. You don't want to talk to anybody. If they talk to you, you would consider it harassment. You want to have them communicate with you only via text message, so everything is documented. You don't want to have them saying they didn't say this or they did say this. You want to tell them that you would like for all the communication to be done via email or message and never doing on the phone. If they do try to contact you on the phone regarding this issue, you will consider it harassment. So that is very, very simple. I hope you guys understand how to do a diminished value report and do your research. It's not the same state by state, so make sure you look into your state specifically. So now, let's go to trackers. You have to protect your vehicles. One thing I want you to do, everybody comment, protect your vehicles. Protect your vehicle. You must protect it. Because let me tell you who's not going to protect your vehicle. The police, they're not going to protect your vehicle. They could care less. When you call a cop and tell them you got a stolen car, they'll say, we'll be there in a couple hours to do a report. They don't care. They're not going to look for it. They're not going to go outside and try to find it. It will be pure luck for them to find your car. So therefore, you have to protect your vehicle. You have to protect your asset, right? So you want to have, I always recommend putting not one, not two, but 3 trackers in my car. Every car that I own has at least 3 trackers in it, right? And I use specific trackers. I use Gold Star by Experian. It's the best tracker, point blank period. I use Gold Star by Experian. I'm gonna have the link dropped in here as well. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have a whole link sheet sent in here for Gold Star by Experian. So y'all can go ahead and get your own tracker, the same exact ones that I use. I have all of my vehicles from Priuses all the way up to Lambos. They all will have what's called a kill switch option. Everybody say kill switch. Everybody say kill switch. Everybody say kill switch. What is a kill switch? The kill switch is what's going to be able to disable the engine. If it's going to make you to where they can't start the vehicle. Once the car comes to a complete stop, if it has the start-stop function, the car will completely cut off. If they stop the car and cut it off at any point, if they steal your car and run out of gas and go to a gas station to a pump and you turned off the kill switch, it will be stuck at the pump. And they will have to not find 1 kill switch, but 2, 3 of them, all 3 of them, right? So I will literally, so somebody said something about a police report, I'm going to get there. You want to make sure you have the kill switch option. Gold Star has those. You don't have to look nowhere else. You can get 3 of those same trackers put into the same car, and they will have a different number. You can label what car it is, and you will make sure that that car is 100% protected. Even if they put it under a garage, you'll be able to know where it was before it went into the garage. So and so at the end of the day, I won't put a police report in until I know for a fact that I can't retrieve my car. I will not put a police report in until it's time for me to do an insurance claim. Does everybody hear me? I do not even call the police until it's time for me to do an insurance claim. I'm gonna say it one more time. I do not even call the police until it is time for me to do an insurance claim. Unless I don't know where my car is for sure and that I can't get it, I'm not even calling the police, point blank, period. Why? When you call the police, they are going to do a report based off of what you say. And they also are just doing it just to write down paperwork in the system for that car. If I find the car and it was stolen and damaged and I wanted to fix it up and not have anything on the Carfax, if I called the cops and got a claim done on it and then damage was done and whatnot, they're going to put that on the Carfax. I don't want that. Also, if I want to just keep the car, fix it up, I don't want to have to do an insurance claim if I found the car. So you don't want to go ahead and call the cops for no reason, right? And a lot of times we make the mistake of saying a car was on a rental, all these different things that you don't want to say. Because in the event that you're using a platform like Turo and they decide not to cover you, you're going to have to go with personal insurance. If your personal insurance find out you had on a rental on Turo, they are not going to cover you. You're going to pay for it out of pocket. So there is no point to call the cops because they're not going to look for the car. Most people who steal your car, they're going to take the license plate off of it. They're probably going to change the VIN number of the car, everything. But it does not matter if you call the police, they are not going to look for it. It's not like when we call the cops and say my car was stolen, the cops go like, hey, everybody go grab this Lambo. They stole this Lambo, everybody go look for it. They're not going to do that. They're going to continue with regularly scheduled programming, and it's a civil situation if you know the person. Let me tell you another mistake that we make. If you call the police, right, and you tell them, hey, look, it was on a rental and I know the person, it's going to be civil. If you do it in Georgia, they won't even make a report for you. They won't even do a report. They won't even do a police report because you know who the person is, and that is going to be a civil situation, which you have to take the person to court for. If I know for a fact that Alton has my car, and I say, yeah, they're going to ask me why I'm doing a police report. You know who it is? Yeah, it's a dude named this. Oh, well, that's a civil situation. They're going to be like, bye, no report necessary. See you later. They don't give a damn. So that's why you need to make sure you have at least 3 trackers on your joints and have the kill switch option, and make sure you set up what's called a geofence. If you don't know how to set up the geofence, you can call into Gold Star and they will set up a geofence around the city, and you'll know if it crosses state lines, if it crosses a certain point on a highway, so you'll be able to deactivate the car before they get it out of town. I don't allow my cars out of town. You're going to have to decide whatever you want to do with your car and your rules and regulations, but I don't allow my cars outside of Georgia. So you guys have to decide what you want to do. And if a car is in Miami, I don't allow my car outside of Miami. If my car is in Houston, I don't allow my cars outside of Houston. It just is what it is. So, because that gives people ample time to be able to break the car down and find these trackers and find the signals where the GPS are omitting signals out, and they can literally take the car apart if they take it out of town. Now, if they got it in my city, I got time to go pull up on them and stop them from doing whatever they're trying to do. Boom, right? So now that we understand insurance, now that we understand trackers, is anybody getting any value? I need to know what's going on. Everybody write down value right now. Let me see. If y'all getting value, just say value. If you're not, it's okay. Let me know. I'm going to go harder. Let me know. I'm going to go harder. There we go. Super value. I like that. Now we're going to go straight into fuel cards. You guys are going to need to start building up y'all businesses and y'all business credit. And you're going to need a couple fuel cards to get started off. Not only are you going to save a little bit, you're going to add points and earn points for getting gas, but you're going to build up your business credit while doing it. Everybody say A to B. A to B. You have to have an LLC to be able to get this under your EIN number. I'm going to show you how to do this stuff without using your personal credit. So you're going to start a business and you're going to get what's called A to B. The website is called atob.us. ATOB.us. And it's a fuel card. There goes some automation, just dropped the link. So make sure y'all see automation drops a link. Y'all can click that link and sign up and use your LLC. Use your EIN number and your LLC to apply for the gas card, and they'll approve you. If they ask you to personally guarantor it, put the EIN number in again, and you will get approved. So don't worry about it. Also, you can use what's called the Shell Fleet Card as well. You can get the Shell Fleet Card that does the same exact thing, and it's going to build up your fuel, your business credit as well. So make sure everybody on here is starting the LLC. Everybody comment LLC. We're not moving for personal no more. We're moving for business. Everybody say LLC. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. So now I want y'all to get the Shell Fleet Card, businessfleetsolutions.com. Businessfleetsolutions.com. So you can go ahead and get the fleet card. Alton, go ahead and drop that link for the Shell Fleet Card. There you go. We just dropped it right there. It's the exact link where you get to go to put it in. All right. Got you. Did you drop the link for Gold Star too? So they get the trackers?
Yeah, I already put that in there. Let me see. I'll drop it one more time. Give me 1 second.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure everybody can get exactly the exact stuff that I'm talking about. I don't want y'all to go out there and be using the hearsay stuff. I want y'all to use exactly what I use. And then it keeps it simple for me. So we don't got to worry about, oh yeah, he used that. He said, no. This is exactly what I use. So you don't got to worry about what I'm using. It works. I haven't had a car stolen in a very, very long time. Alton's been working with me for a while now. Have you ever seen one of my cars stolen? Mm-hmm. Has it even been close to a threat?
No.
And not even close. It never happens. And then that comes down to vetting. We'll go into that later. But okay, now let's keep it moving along. Let's go into, since we on credit now, we on business credit, I want to go straight into Bank of America, the Bank of America play. Now, the Bank of America play is very, very simple and it's unique because the reason why we call it a play is because usually when you get a car under your business name, you have to have had a business for over 2 years, or you have to have had some high primary lines of credit on your business for 8 months first, and then go and apply for a car. And then you could potentially go get you a car under your business. So now Bank of America is allowing people with a brand new business to be able to go out and get cars underneath their business name, clearly with a PG. If people don't know what the term PG stands for, that stands for personal guarantor. That means I'm going to personally guarantee it, meaning that I'm going to put my personal name aside it. If I were to defraud on the loan with my business, they'll come after me personally. That's what that means. So we're not going to do that. All of us are financially literate. All of us are using this stuff for business. All of us are going to be doing this for a business purposes, so we don't have to worry about defaulting on it, right? Somebody said I got 117K approved for Bank of America. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna let y'all not apply for more than 75,000 for this loan. So I'm gonna break down the structure of it so y'all can be able to get it. All right. So now, before I even go into the Bank of America play, I want to tell y'all exactly what underwriters look for when you are financing a car. So I want to tell you the perfect picture that you're going to need. Somebody said I got 300K from Bank of America. It's real shit. All right, cool. So now, this is what they look for. This is what they look for. I'm gonna give y'all the exact picture that underwriters look for when you're going to apply for a car. I'm speaking from experience. I can get any car I have had mostly every car, but I can get any car that anybody on this chat possibly could ever want. Any car using my credit. And I'm going to tell you what the underwriters look for. Okay. So underwriters are going to look for stability. Everybody say stability. Everybody just say the word stability. That word it speaks volumes, especially to banks. They don't like when people are unstable. Meaning if you got like 100 addresses on your credit report, that means that you'll be hard to find. So you want to use an address that you have access to that's been on your credit report for the longest. They like when you've been living in a place for a long period of time. They like stability. They also like when you've been working in a place for a long period of time. So if you have a business that's been on your credit report for a long time that you've worked for, that's the best one to say that you've been working for, because they look for stability. They don't like when people have been working for a job for less than a year. They don't even like when you've been working for a job for 2 years. They prefer 5 or 6 years or better. And that's when it comes to you guaranteed to get approved. Now, you don't have to have it, but this is just what they like. I'm trying to give you guys the perfect picture. Your credit score should be, the premier credit score is 720 and above. 720. That's what they are looking for, around a 720 credit score. This is going to be setting you guys up for the best chances to get approved without them asking you for proof of income, right? So if you have stability in the house, stability at employment, and a 720 credit score, that's going to be very good, right? And not a whole bunch of addresses on your credit report, right? You want to make sure that you are using the one that you lived in the longest and you still have access to. Me, when I apply to go get a Lambo, I use my mom's house. Right? How long you been living there? 10 years. They know where to find me. It's been on my credit report for 10 years. They know where to find me. Look, it's just reality. It's very, very simple strategy. So employment, you never, ever, ever, listen to me, y'all. You never want to put self-employed when you are applying for funding. You never want to put self-employed when you're applying for a car loan. They hate that. They hate when you put self-employed. They want people to be employed full time. But Mitch, I'm an entrepreneur. How do I get approved when I'm an entrepreneur? You work for your company. So when you have an LLC, you want to say you are working full time. You are full-time employed by your own company. You clearly are not going to tell them that it's your company, but you're going to say, so let's say one of my companies is called Push Elite. So I work full-time for Push Elite LLC. That's who I work for. So now, when you have things like ADP and you have things like QuickBooks, where you could put yourself on payroll, if they were to ever ask you for proof of income, you could literally have put yourself on payroll for the last 2 months prior to applying and pay yourself the amount that you are saying that you make. Then you could work full-time for that company. You get what I'm saying? So it's very simple. You work full time for that LLC, and then you put yourself on payroll for 2 months prior before applying. And however much you say that you would make is what they're going to go with because you have the pay stubs. But what I just told you about, they will never ask you for pay stubs if you have that blueprint that I gave. I've been getting cars for the last 6 years. I have not shown proof of income for a car in 6 years. Alton has seen me buy Lambos 2021. Bentley 2019, Lamborghini Huracan 2016, Rolls Royce 2017. All of them cars over $200,000 and $300,000. I have not shown proof of income in 6 or 7 years. It might be 7. I'm just saying 6 because I know for sure. Since I got my Jeep Wrangler 08, I have not used proof of income. They just literally let me use my signature and I walk out the door. Okay? So now that is the underwriting guidelines that they look for. Has everybody got some value from what I just said? That's what they're going to look for. Okay? Yes, sir. I want to make sure y'all still here with me. Now I'm going to go into the Bank of America play. No, I'm sorry. I missed a step. Income. When you are putting what you make, there is no way to get approved for a vehicle that like a Lamborghini and you make less than the Lamborghini costs. How is that possible? Do y'all think that a bank is going to approve me for a Lamborghini Huracan that costs $300,000 if I say I make $300,000 a year? No, you want to make at least double. So the reason why I'm telling you this, you need to get into position to be able to say this on your application. Never lie on your application. Get yourself into a position where this is true. So now, if I want to go get a Lamborghini, I'm going to say I make $1 million a year. Why would I make less than $1 million and have a car that costs $300,000? You want to make double, right? And also, they look for auto trade history. So when you start going to a Lamborghini and stuff, if you never had a car loan on your credit report over $100,000, they're going to automatically deny you off the rip. If you have never had one that is that high, it's that period. So you have to go tier to tier. You start off under 20,000, then you go over 30,000, and then you go over 50, over 60, and so on and so forth. Once you have had an auto loan primary on your actual credit profile, that's when they will be able to approve you for a higher amount car. They will never approve you for higher than what you've never had. It just won't happen. NBA players are my clients, NFL players, rappers. Mitch, how you getting all these Lambos? I can't get them. I'm telling them I don't want to spend cash. They won't let me finance it. I make $3-4 million a year, but they won't let me get it without paying cash. Oh, because you don't have an auto trade on your credit report. You've never had a car or a loan extended out to you for that magnitude. Therefore, your report card said you have an F. Your report card said you have an F. You need to have an auto trade. Everybody comment auto trade. I want to make sure I reiterate that because I'm going to skip that. Auto trade. Yes, sir. You need to have a primary auto on your credit report. If you don't have it, you have to go from tier to tier, right? Another piggyback game off of that. Just like I said earlier, somebody said their credit is in position. They're not in position yet, but they want to be able to, they have a partner whose credit is. If you were to have a partner whose credit is in position and they have an auto trade on their credit report and they're in business with you and you put them on your company, they can PG it for your business with their credit in their auto trade and get it into your business name. I'm going to say it again. Pushman Mitch has a business, but my credit is only a 400. You come through with your great credit score and you're now my business partner. Your credit score is great. You have an auto trade over 100,000. We go and take my business that's 2 years old and go to the bank and we go to a dealership and we say, look, I want to go use the business funding. I want to use my business and I want to get approved. And then we go in there with the business and then the personal guarantor, which is you come in with your great credit and your auto trade and your stability at home and your 720 credit score, all of those things. And we apply for it. With you PGing it through my business is going to be under my business name. We just got approved just because we use you as a PG. It won't be on your personal credit. It'll only be on a business and we're going to run the play. That's how you can kind of do it with partnerships, right? I want to keep giving y'all the sauce. Trust me, you ain't going to get this nowhere else. So peep game. Anyway, so now we're going to go to the Bank of America play. The Bank of America play requires great credit, right? You want to have it. I want to say no lower than a 680, but I would recommend 680 to 720 credit score before you run the Bank of America play. So I'm gonna run the structure of the Bank of America play right now. What you got to do is to set you up for the best chance of success is you want to actually have a business bank account with Bank of America. Everybody say business bank account. Business bank account. This is going to get you a relationship with the bank. This is going to build up a relationship with you and the bank. You're going to get a business bank account with Bank of America first, right? After you have a business bank account with Bank of America, and of course, before going to get the Bank of America business play, you have to have a business. You have to have an LLC or this play will not work, right? Also, keep in mind when you are making your business name, the LLC name needs to be a very, very general name. Something like Rolls Royce, something like No Fluff, something like Ryder, something like very, very plain where you do not know what industry you are in. We are not volunteering any extra information to the banks or underwriters that would limit our funding. You will not want to let them know that you are a rental car business because your business is high risk. Does that make sense? So now you need to have a very, very general name, LLC, right? Then you're going to start a business bank account. Then you're going to make sure you have between a 680 and 720 credit score. Where people are asking what bank do they pull from, that bank is going to be determined based off of what state you're in. There's going to be different states that you live in. When you're going to apply, it's going to be different. You never know what bank they're going to pull from. So now, what bureau they're going to pull from. So now you're going to go and you're going to apply for, you can apply for this online or in person, does not matter. You can apply for this bank, this Bank of America auto loan, and Anime drop the link so they can actually get the link to where they can do the Bank of America play when they're ready. Drop the link right now. You're going to go in there and apply, and all you're going to do is you can get up to 4 pre-approvals for a Bank of America fleet loan using the same exact information on each application. Using the same exact information on each application. And they go based off of stated income, meaning that they use the tell policy, meaning what you tell them. So you're going to tell them your projected income for the year on the Bank of America fleet loan. And you don't want to ask for more than $75,000 per loan. Don't ask for more than $75,000 per loan. And also read the guidelines. You cannot get any type of car with the Bank of America fleet loan. There are certain type of cars, certain years, certain mileages, things of that nature. So you cannot just go and get any car with the Bank of America fleet loan, but it's a great program for you guys to get started with, right? Because what I want you guys to kind of focus on is the economy cars, right? Everybody say economy cars. Everybody say economy cars. I'm gonna help y'all build a foundation right now. Everybody on this channel is gonna thank me right after y'all done with this. When I tell y'all this play, everybody on here gonna be thanking me. I'm like, thank you, Mitch. Oh my God, I never would have knew. I never would have knew. Okay, cool. So Pete, so now that we got the Bank of America done, right? We had the 720 credit score. We had the business with a general name. We didn't ask for more than 75,000. We had the guidelines, the underwriting guidelines correct. We used the stated income correctly. And we went and applied for 4 loans with the exact same information for up to 75,000. We're going to get approved, and they're going to give you the approvals. You can take those approvals to the dealership and go get whatever cars you need to get. Now, these cars are going to go under your business name, and the only time they will go to your personal is if you default on the loan. That's just the rules of Bank of America. Now, after you guys have achieved these cars, you guys going to have to need these pre-approvals. I'm going to show you the play. So now you just got pre-approvals. You ain't even go buy the cars yet, right? Now you just got pre-approvals. You didn't even go buy the cars yet. So now me and my team and my mentees run a very smooth system. We want to get 30 out of 30 day bookings. Everybody say 30 out of 30. Everybody say 30 out of 30. There we go. We want to get 30 out of 30 day bookings. We want to make money with our cars. They do not need to be at home. This is the only way to make the rental car game passive. This is the only way to make the rental car game passive, and that's running an economy car play. I'm about to help the novices and the new people build a foundation, right? So even if you didn't use the Bank of America play, even if you just got an economy car sitting at the house, even if your grandma give you the keys to her economy car so you can run a play, even if you just already had one just collecting dust, you had a little driveway ornament and you want to throw it into this play, it doesn't have to be the Bank of America play. I just wanted to give that to y'all just because. Now, let me tell you something. These economy cars are going to be the foundation and the primary breadwinner for all of y'all on this call. It's going to make better money than you would make in real estate. Trust me. Cash flow in real estate is at the most, 9 times out of 10, you get $500 cash flow in real estate when you're talking about a regular residential home. No more than 500. You get lucky, you might get 600, 700. But unless you own it outright, you're not going to get those higher tier returns, right? If you own it outright with no mortgage, then maybe you can do it. Now, economy cars, the cool thing about these economy cars is that you're going to be able to make starting out $1,200 to $1,400 to maybe $1,600 a month off a car that you can get with your signature, or that you already owned, or that you got into a joint venture with. You know what I'm saying? So y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Now, this is called the 30 out of 30 day play, 30 for 30. This is very simple. I want y'all to do this right now. I want y'all to think about this. I want y'all to join a Facebook group full of Uber and Lyft drivers. Very simple. Go on Facebook, join the Facebook group for the Uber and Lyft drivers. Point blank, period. I want y'all to join the traveling nurses group on Facebook. Traveling nurses. I want y'all to join that Facebook group, right? I want y'all to literally go out to the airport to where there's a hub, a Uber and Lyft hub. And I want you to go out there. This is where you're going to fish. And then you're also going to make one advertisement. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're going to show this advertisement to y'all right now. The exact one advertisement you're going to need to run the 30 out of 30 play. And like I said, y'all going to say, thank you, Mitch. Let me tell you something for 100% fact. We're going to target Uber and Lyft drivers who are going to use our cars to make money, and they will never return our cars. The only time that we will literally need to only time we're going to need to see these cars is when we're doing maintenance on them every 30 days. And we are not going to do the maintenance ourselves. We're going to send a mechanic. We're going to go to yourmechanic.com, right? And we're going to send a mechanic out every 30 days to check on do a 3-point inspection on the car. They're going to check the brakes. They're going to check the tires. They're going to change the oil. They're going to do everything that needs to be done every 30 days, right? So you never got to leave the house. But you're going to go in these these groups, and you're going to put that you have cars available weekly for $300 to $400 a week, right? And you're going to say you got a toy. You can say whatever car you want. You just got the approval though. You can get these cars booked before you even buy them, under contract. Before I even break it down even further, I'm gonna let Alton tell you how him and his girlfriend just did this play with all their cars. So, Alton, go ahead and jump on here real quick.
Okay, I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
So, everyone, I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick. Give me one moment. Sure. Okay, cool. So first off, I'll show you what the actual ad campaign looks like.
Wait, don't do the ad yet. Don't do the ad yet.
Don't do that.
Tell them exactly what you did first. Like, what did you do? And then show them what we did to get it booked.
Okay, cool. So basically what I'm doing is I'm leveraging Facebook advertising to do marketing. So as soon as I get a pre-approval for a car, I leverage Facebook advertising to do ads, marketing a car, and then I'll take that ad, I'll take the car, do messenger ads, and then people respond back to me in the
Slow down. You'll take the ads and do messenger ads. Do it slow so they can hear what you're saying. We got to make sure they get it first time.
Okay, cool. So I do what on Facebook Ads Manager is called a messenger ad. So people will see the campaign and then click to respond back to me. And then I get a bunch of people to communicate back to me. And then I'll find one, I'll communicate with them. I make sure that they're approved to drive for Uber and Lyft. They'll usually just send a picture. And then after I make sure I got the approval, then I go to them and I meet them and make them sign off on the contract, take the pre-approval for the car, go get the car, bring it back to them. It's done.
Okay, so he gets the car under contract for an Uber and Lyft driver before he even goes to the dealership to buy the car. But show us the ad that you use to be able to get him to do it.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, cool. So this is what the actual creative is for the car. So this way you guys can kind of see that. It's super simple.
Hello, so this is a 2022
me just
Toyota
walking
Corolla
around the car, showcasing.
Be quiet. Just show it to him.
You can ride the
Start it over.
unlimited miles. Hello, so this is a 2022 Toyota Corolla available for Uber and Lyft drivers. You can ride the vehicle unlimited miles. You can use Uber, Lyft, and Uber Eats, so you're not limited by anything at all. Message us below if you have any questions about the. You can use Uber, Lyft, and Uber Eats, so you're not limited by anything at all. In monthly rentals for Uber and Lyft drivers. So if you have your approved Uber and Lyft, message us below, and the car is ready and available to be driven.
Okay, so now, basically, in layman's terms, y'all, he gets that car under contract before even. It's so simple that a caveman can do it. So you and your girlfriend did this, right? The cars are going already under contract. I literally watch him. He does it right in front of me. So long story short, he's cheating because he's like, he works with me and he's my mentee, but he got the ultimate cheat code. So long story short, we just do this over and over again with each car, 30 out of 30 days. Now, what I want y'all to understand, that's how the video is working. Soon as the video starts, you're talking and you're saying what's going on. People's attention span is this short. So it's a simple ad. We do the same thing that I'm gonna teach y'all tomorrow how to do it with the exotic cars that y'all don't even own. But we're gonna start off with the economy cars that we do own. So now you take a little simple ad, walk around the car, explain all the perks to renting with you. Like he said this has unlimited miles. You are not limited to driving only Uber. You can drive Lyft as well. You can do Instacart. You can do whatever you want in this car, and you have unlimited miles. Message me below. You're gonna have so many messages. It's gonna be nuts. And how much did you spend on the ad?
Okay, let me show them because they're not gonna believe it. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and then my ads manager. So this is a specific ad right here, right? So you see my total ad spend in total was 113.40 cents, right? I have gotten rid of 4 cars this way with this one ad spend, right? So you can see it cost me $3.06 to get somebody to send me a message, right? And what that transitions over to is about a cost of $20 to $30 to find a person that will take the car and use it for a monthly rental. They're paying me $350 a week. Every week on Friday to have these vehicles, and it costs me about $20 to find these people to drive the vehicles.
$20 to find a person, basically. It's like spending $20. It's like I hand a person a 20. I want y'all to picture this in y'all mind. It's like I hand a person a $20 bill. I'll be like, go find me a dude to drive this car for Uber and pay me $1,400 a month. Here, take $20. That's the transaction. We're doing that simple, but very intricate video. You can literally take all your cars and make them 30 out of 30 days, right? So now, after saying that, let's understand, like, because a lot of people don't understand why somebody will come to us versus going to Enterprise or going to Hertz, which is Uber and Lyft, right? So now, let me make you understand why. If you drive for Uber and you get a rental car through Uber, you only can drive Uber. And you also have only 300 access miles that you can drive outside of driving Uber. So that car isn't really for you to do for personal use. You are letting them do whatever they like with the vehicle. You'll let them do Instacart, Amazon, Prime Now, whatever they want to do. As long as they give you your money every week, you Gucci. Now, before he actually rents the cars out, he don't just go get the car from the dealership and then go hand the keys off. What do you do first?
Okay. So first, I make sure that there are trackers installed into the vehicles. That's mandatory. Number one. So I see where it is at all times. Then I go communicate with the person. I make sure that their IDs are good. I make sure that they're actually approved to drive Uber and Lyft, and I have them sign a rental car agreement, right? I have them sign the rental car agreement, and I charge them immediately that same exact day. So that way they know that this is the car that will be charged. This is what should be getting charged weekly. And then the way I do it is that way I can just wake up, go on my phone, charge them every Friday, don't even have to communicate with them, and then move on.
Exactly. And we billing them through recurring on Stripe. Okay, we billing them recurring on Stripe. We set them up with we get their card, we bill them, we pay them. If they were to not pay, we kill switch it. Boom.
Go pick it up.
They can't drive it. There's no free rides around here. Friday come around, they can't pay, we kill switch, it's over. If they do, we good. It keeps rolling. And we don't have to never go out there again. 30 out of 30 days booking. Yourmechanic.com for the mechanic to go out there and keep the oil good, keep the tires good, keep the brakes good. Bam. I just gave y'all $1 million worth of game in 2 seconds. We about to start wrapping it up. I want to make sure that everybody is still hyper and understanding what I just told y'all just now.
Wait,
Does
Mitch,
everybody understand what was just said just now?
I want to know, like, who thinks they can take that one play and, like, literally this week go making cash? Anybody feel like they could take that one play this week and go start making cash? I think I can. Like, you guys made that seem like simple, man. I hope you guys really listen. This replay is going to be posted later. It's going to be in the guides tab in the general admission group. It's going to be in your guys' VIP portal for VIP. Listen, you better rewatch this. You better. But Mitch, man, we got to save your voice, bro. You'd go all night if we let you.
Man, for real, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is what I love to do, man. It's just so much impact being made right now. It's going dumb.
Love it, man. We got to start wrapping up, man, just to save your voice, man, because this is literally just day 2. We got day 3, day 4, day 5. And you listen, I told you guys yesterday, you guys thought that yesterday was fire. I told you every day is going to get better and better. So make sure you're here and you show up. So Mitch, man, I'm going to give some homework. We do some giveaways. You cool? We do some giveaways.